What's going on, everybody? My name's Chris. Welcome to Bourbinsane. Today we're here for round 2 of our best budget bourbons flight fight. Now I'm really excited about this round because we've got a couple heavy hitters that I'm really excited to get into. So Eagle Rare, great budget bourbon. I already have a review up. If you guys haven't seen that, go over and check it out right now. Come back to this video. Buffalo Trace, overall considered one of the best budget bourbons out there. This is actually a store pick that I have not tried, so I won't know any of the flavor profiles that go along with this specific barrel. Maker's Mark. This is the base Maker's Mark product, so I have had Maker's Mark cask strength, but I have never had the base Maker's Mark. So this will be completely blind to me on what this tastes like. And then finally, Ezra Brooks 90. So I've had a couple drinks out of the Ezra Brooks. It's actually really good stuff. We'll see how it holds up compared to the rest of them. But this is a strong round for our best of. I think what I'm going to do for the finals is I'm going to bring back one bourbon, and I may have said this in the previous video, but I'm going to bring back one bourbon that I think should have made it to the finals that didn't. So that could be from any of the 3 rounds we're going to end up filming here, guys. So without further ado, let's get into this. We're going to do the same format here. Going to be doing them one at a time, and I do have water here I'm going to be drinking in between. I may show you, I may not for me drinking it, but I am going to be drinking water in between to hopefully cleanse the palate a little bit. So let's get into it, guys. Alright guys, my lovely wife just came down and blinded these for me, so let's go on and get into this. Alright, this is already looking darker than round 1. So round 1 we had pretty much all 80 proof bourbons. These are all 90 proof bourbons, so we're moving on up the spectrum here. Definitely can see that dark caramel color on this one. More of a nose too on this. More burn. I'd say I'm definitely picking up cherry on the nose on this. Can smell some oak in this too, actually. I'd say this definitely has a Buffalo Trace flavor profile, so if I was guessing, I would say it's probably one of these two. It reminds me of Buffalo Trace. Could be completely wrong, guys. Just going by memory, so. Alright. It's good. It's definitely got cherry on the flavor. Vanilla and caramel come through. I'd say short to medium finish. Not that long. But you definitely pick up that cherry note. I've had 2 different store picks now that I've opened of the Buffalo Trace. I've got about 5 or 6, and both of them have been quite heavily cherried actually, where I don't remember that on the original Buffalo Trace bottle. So interesting. Let's give it another sip. It could be the Eagle Rare too. Or it could be Makers, I guess, because I've never had Makers, but I still think this has that Buffalo Trace profile. I don't remember this much cherry with the Eagle Rare previously when I did the review. I am getting quite a bit of cherry on this actually, so we'll see, guys. It's good. That's got good flavor to it for sure. Alright, moving into our second one here. This one looks definitely much lighter than the first. Well, I guess not really. Next to each other, they don't look that different. I'm getting a nutty note on this. Definitely much more than number 1. I guess I got no nutty note on the first one, but yeah, I'd say it's got a nutty nose. You can smell the caramel. And there is some wood in there, but it's kind of in the background. I wouldn't say it's forward at all on the nose. Caramel and nut on this, guys, on the nose. Cheers. Nuttiness comes through on the taste, too. It's good. It's pretty good, actually. Nice and smooth, easy to drink. I prefer, I shouldn't say I prefer, I like the nutty flavor like I get in a Jim Beam product. Jim Beam didn't fare, the white label at least, didn't fare that high in my previous flight. I actually guessed all those right somehow. I don't know how that happened, but it didn't fare that high really. And I'm typically a fan of Jim Beam, but it was just a little too smooth. This has more proof to it, so it actually has a longer finish than that Jim Beam White Label. So even if I don't choose this as my favorite, this is something that I would even put up a step above the Jim Beam White Label because it's got more of a finish and the same nutty note. So if you like that nutty note with Jim Beam, this has got that. I'm trying to remember. I think I remembered this nose and this taste on the Ezra Brooks. I haven't drank this bottle, guys, in probably at least a month and a half. I haven't even had a pour out of it. So it's been a long time. I cannot remember that well. It's good, though. You don't get... First two samples, both of them, you don't get any alcohol burn. Three of the previous flight we did, we got that alcohol burn at the end, which I don't like. Just gives you that alcohol taste in your mouth. But these two are both great bourbon flavors. Nice vanillas. Yeah, overall not bad for the first two. All right, let's go into our third sample here. Well, I'll say this has a different nose than the first two completely. It almost smells a little medicinal to me. Like, I guess when I say medicinal, I mean it's got some of that alcohol burn I talk about with like the previous flight just a moment ago. It's got more of that alcohol forward nose, I guess, which I'm not really a big fan of. You do pick up cherry in this. It's not the same cherry as what sample 1 was, though. This is more of a almost like a liquored cherry. So I guess if you ever had like brandied cherries, like cherries that are brandied, I'd say that's more this nose here. Yeah, this sample number 1 is more of a rich, deep, darker fruit, darker cherry note, whereas this is a very light, almost candied cherry, which I don't like cherry flavored candy in general, so this isn't really standing out to me too well. Let's give it a sip at least though, guys. Cheers. Thin finish, medicinal on the tongue still. Whew, sorry guys, I did not like that finish on that one. It's got that alcohol burn, almost like you take a shot, and it's just like, ugh, shakes you all up. That was kind of this one for me. Nose was better than the taste, but it's the taste was not so good. I'll give it another sip for science. It's not that good. Not too much bourbon flavor. Again, I've never had the Maker's Mark, but if I was guessing, I would say it's probably the Maker's Mark, just because I know this is a wheated bourbon, and it tastes completely different than the first two. So it's got that wheated profile, but it's not really a good wheated profile, honestly. I'm not a fan. If it is, in fact, that it could be something different. I could be completely wrong, but not my favorite on this, guys. It's too candied alcohol flavor to me, I guess. So, not too much of a fan on that. All right, let's go on into number 4 here. Yeah, now this one just smells like a classic bourbon nose. For sure. Caramel and vanilla. Butterscotch notes there. Actually, it smells like a little bit of chocolate in this, too. You know, there's like dark fruit on this nose. Almost like a chocolate-covered raisin, I guess I would describe this as, on the nose. Smells good. Let's give it a sip. Cheers. Again, more, I'd say probably another Buffalo Trace product if I was guessing. It's got the Buffalo Trace profile. It's got notes I was just describing on the nose. Those come through on the palate. Actually, again, some cherry on this. So pretty much all of these actually had cherry with the exception of sample number 2. But 1, 3, and 4 all had cherry, different types of cherry to me. These 1 and 4 were more darker cherry, darker fruit flavored notes, whereas 3 was that medicinal cherry, which I was not a fan of. Very similar. Sample number 1, I definitely smell more oak, doing them side to side here. Now, Buffalo Trace in general is aged 8 years. So that's not a short amount of time. The Eagle Rare is actually a 10-year-old bourbon. That is on the back of the label, and Eagle Rare is actually aged on the lower levels of the rickhouse, though. I actually had a person on Instagram remind me of this today, so thank you, whoever you are. I can't remember your name, I'm sorry, but Eagle Rare is actually aged on the lower part of the rickhouse, and it's not rotated at all. So the bourbon doesn't move as much in and out of the wood. So you wouldn't pick up as much oak as you would think on a 10-year-old bourbon. If it was aged higher in the rickhouse, you'd probably be picking up a whole bunch of oak because it's going in and out of the wood constantly due to the high temperatures. So, but between the two here, I definitely smell a deeper, richer fruit wood note on sample number 1. We'll go back through these guys and we'll see if my notes change at all. But yeah, it smells like a lighter fruit almost. Not anything like the medicinal cherry, but definitely like a lighter cherry on this. It's good though. Round 1, guys, 1 and 4 are probably my favorites here. I really like what they're both bringing to the table. So let's take a quick break. I'm going to take a couple minutes, let my tongue rest a little bit, and I'll come back for round 2 here, guys. Alright, guys, we're back for the second part of round 2 here. I'm going to go back through the samples, see if I pick up anything different. I took about 10-15 minutes there. Ate some crackers just to give my tongue a little break, and drank quite a bit of water. So hopefully we're gonna see if anything changes here. I'll start with number 4, and we'll work our way back this time. So yeah, this again just smells like a classic bourbon. It's anything you'd want in a bourbon on the nose. It doesn't smell like it quite has the age, I guess. I mean, I'm getting some oak, but it's really behind. It's not forward at all. Some older bourbons, you'll get more of an oak forward nose with that age. I'm not getting that as much on this. It's good, guys. Vanilla caramel and that cherry. Dark fruit and cherry are the two I associate with this bourbon here. I think I mentioned chocolate on in round 1 on this, and I'm not picking it up as much now that I've taken a little break. So maybe one of the previous bourbons made me really pick out that more, but I still get the dark fruits like the raisin, almost like a raisin note. It's quite good. Let's go into number 2 here, guys. Yeah, the nose on this is not inviting. I don't even want to take a sip. It's just like alcohol burn. It's just it just smells like an artificial cherry flavor, and I cannot get on board with it, guys. I'm gonna take a sip though. Yeah, I mean, if this is the maker's mark, I mean, I guess it does. I guess I do get a little bit of a bready note, but it is just buried behind. The wheated profile is there a little bit, but it is just buried behind alcohol forward disgustingness to me. I guess this is not going to be my choice, guys. I'll tell you right now. So. Good try, whatever this is, but it's just not for me. Not for me. All right, let's move on to number 2. Back to number 2. I mentioned a whole bunch of nuttiness on this for round 1, first time through. It's still there, but it's much more subtle now. Maybe just leaving it in the glass to open up a little bit helped for about 20 minutes. Nuttiness is still there, I guess. It's not bad, guys. I really think the 90 proof on this is helping. Round 1, we had again, those 80 proof bourbons pretty much, and it was just too thin. All of them were too thin for me. These at least leave a little bit of coating in your mouth. All 4 of them do. I mean, number 3, I could care less for the coating in the mouth, but all the other 3, they leave a nice mouthfeel, really. Again, it's only 90 proof, so it's not going to be anything too intense, but overall, it's not too bad. I like that nuttiness. I really do like the nuttiness. I don't know if Ezra Brooks, if this is in fact Ezra Brooks, again, I don't know, but I don't know if they are made by Jim Beam. I haven't looked that up, but just based on the flavor profile, I would say it's near the same juice or pretty close. Some related somehow. Let me know in the comments below if you guys know if Ezra Brooks is some kind of made by Centauri Beam or some in that same company, because it tastes very similar to that Jim Beam white label we had. All right, guys, back to number 1 here. Yep, it's still got that Buffalo Trace nose. Any bourbon enthusiasts out there, they know what I'm talking about. It's the Buffalo Trace flavor profile. I mean, I would bet money this is a Buffalo Trace product. The second I say that, I'll be wrong. It's good. 1 and 4 again have those dark fruits, cherry notes. Now I'm not tasting as much oak really though on the first one, like I was in the nose compared to the 2. Well, now going back, I actually feel like I'm picking up a little more oak on sample 4 here. Boy, it's so tough to know, guys. When you do these blind, you really find out what you like and what you don't. If you guys can ever do blind flights, please do, because this is a lot of fun. I love doing this and seeing what I actually enjoy. You think you like a bourbon until you try it next to other things, and you're like, wow, I had a completely different thought. So, yeah, it's tough, guys. 3 of the 4 are quite good. I know I'm going to be getting rid of number 3 for sure, but overall, they're all not bad. The flavors are all good, all classic bourbon flavors. Any of these 3 I'm going to be talking about are going to be good options. So let's take a quick break again. I'm going to take about 10 more minutes, think about it, try them off camera a little bit, and I'll come back to you. All right, guys? Alright guys, we're back. I've got my list here of A, B, C, and D, what they were. No surprise here, guys. Number 4 for me is going to be our 3rd sample. I just was not a fan of this. Very fake flavor, medicinal flavor. Let's see what it was, guys. This was letter B, which was the Maker's Mark. So, I was right on that. I am just not a fan of this, guys. Maker's Mark, the base product at least, not good. The cast strength version, not bad. Again, I am a sucker for higher proof bourbons. So higher proof bourbons in general are always going to be better in my book. But this product is not for me. If you guys like wheated bourbons and you're a big cherry guy, maybe. I would still try it before you buy it, because it's still going to be around the $30 range for this. And I will not be buying this again, I'll tell you right now. So, I'm going to have a hard time even mixing this, I think, guys. So, but, all right. So my second favorite, tough decision. So the other three I liked very much. All three of them I'd be happy drinking any day. But I went with number 2 as my second choice. So again, I guessed that this was the Ezra Brooks, but I don't know for sure. Just remembering based on the flavor profile, that nutty note, thinking it was maybe the same family as Jim Beam. Let me know again. Let's see what it was. This was letter A, which is Ezra Brooks. Wow. So I'm actually doing a lot better than I thought I would be doing on this, guys. Normally when I taste bourbons, I do this thing with my wife where I have her bring me a blind sample from the basement and I try to guess out of my whole bar what it is. I don't know if I've gotten a single one right on the first try, so doing this, I was really nervous I was going to get them all wrong, but so far through the first video and a half, we've been doing pretty well. Ezra Brooks is a good bourbon still, guys. Anything above the 80 proof bourbons we did in the previous video, I would still buy this Ezra Brooks bottle first. It's not bad by any means, and if you like the Jim Beam flavor profile, it's going to be a good option for you for sure. All right. So number 1 and number 2 were very difficult. I went back and forth on this for a long time off camera, guys, and I didn't know which one to go with. My second choice, I went with number 1. And honestly, I'm not sure which one this is, the Buffalo Trace or the Eagle Rare. I know what Eagle Rare tastes like, but I have not had the Buffalo Trace Store Pick, so I'm really not sure. These were head-to-head, guys. Either one of these are great products, so whichever one this is, they're pretty much interchangeable to me. This is letter C, which is the Buffalo Trace. Okay. So, again, I just opened this bottle. This is the first time I've had this bottle, and the flavor could change over time, but overall, this is really good. The second time through is when I really made up my mind on which one I like more. So once I took that 10 to 15 minute break, I tried 1 through 4 again next to each other, and I got more age on 4. First time through, I was smelling more oak, actually, on the Buffalo Trace, this product here. But when I did them after taking the break, I definitely got more oak and more wood on the other one. So something about maybe trying the previous bourbons beforehand had changed the flavor profile a little bit to me. This is still a good product. I'd say this is a lighter fruit than the Eagle Rare was. Yeah, you can definitely smell the wood and more of a deep, rich fruit, which I prefer in a bourbon. More of a deep, rich fruit versus a lighter fruit. Don't get me wrong, I like the light fruit as well, but I had to give Buffalo Trace a second, a very close second, guys. And the store picks, I'll tell you, they're good. And there's a lot of different store picks out there. But the base Buffalo Trace product, it's a small batch, it's really good too. If you guys find it, definitely pick it up. Let me know how it compares to the store pick, or if you pick up that cherry note that I do. Because it's really good juice, guys. And that leaves us with our number 1 being sample number 4, the Eagle Rare. And going into the flight, guys, I thought this was going to be one of my favorites. Turned out right. Overall, this bourbon is just such an easy drinking bourbon. It's such a good bourbon for the price. I mean, this was $32 where I live. And Michigan, again, is usually higher priced than other areas. It's age stated 10 years on the back of the bottle here. Pretty much it's a single barrel product, so each one's going to be a little different. When we were at the distillery, they said this product is pretty much single barrel. They took the single barrel off the label because they wanted to give themselves more variety in case they wanted to mix barrels together. But overall, the Eagle Rare is still pretty much a single barrel product. And there's nothing wrong even if it is small batch, because small batch bourbons are great. I mean, most Buffalo Trace products are small batch as well, and they're awesome. So, Eagle Rare just has everything you want in a bourbon, though. Classic bourbon notes. I actually picked up a little bit of cherry this time, which I didn't in my review, I don't think. But the bottle is quite low now, so it could be as the bottle got lower, the flavors kind of developed a little bit. Bottle definitely hasn't turned at all, because it's really good, and I'm definitely going to be replacing this bottle very soon. So, overall, guys, I had a great time filming this flight today. A lot of good budget options in this flight compared to the first one. If you guys like the video, give it a like and a subscribe. Let me know down below what your favorite budget bourbon is of these 4 here. I had a great time filming today, guys. Stay insane. Thanks for watching the video today, guys. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also follow me on Instagram at Bourbinsane and Facebook Bourbinsane.